Both of these ladies will share with you some information about the programs that they teach and how wonderful it is to be in this department. We also have some students to share with you their experiences in their programs, and I'm delighted to have them with us, some current students and some alumni who have come back to talk about their experience with Lakeland. There are some housekeeping items that I want to address right off the bat. You may see something popped up on your screen that says this is being recorded. So we are recording this meeting so that we can post a little later on our website, so those that couldn't join us for the live session can still access the information. If you scroll up in the chat bar, so I think the little bubble cloud at the top of your screen, you can see the conversation in this meeting, and there's some information about FOIP. So if you want to go to that link and read what all of that means, privacy concerns, please do. We recommend that you keep your camera off and your microphone off. Well, I shouldn't say that. If you want to show your beautiful faces, we'd love to see you. And if you do have questions, we'd love to hear them. In the interest of keeping this presentation moving along, it may be a little more seamless to type your questions into the chat, and then at the end of the presentation we can address them, because we're happy to answer any questions that you have. It's the purpose of why we're here today, to see what your interests are and to see what we can do to support you along your decision-making path. There is also a contest that's happening for open house and some awesome prizes. Please complete that, click on that link and go to that web page, and I believe there's 2 Apple Watches and 4 Apple EarPod prizes. Man, that's pretty fancy schmancy. So I definitely would encourage you to click on that link for information. We also have on our web page, Lakeland College's webpage, the open house page, there are videos that you can click on if you want some more information about human services programs. All of the videos are on that page. Virtual tours of the campus, you'll get to see some of the space here at Lakeland, some of the things that we would have loved to have been able to show you in a face-to-face open house. We're going to do what we can to give you that experience virtually, so please take some time and visit those links so you can get a sense of what life is like here on campus. We're also going to post a link to our Instagram page. Human Services manages their own Instagram page, and we share information weekly about the goings-on here in our programs. We try to post jobs that come to our attention for alumni, current students, future students, moms and dads, whoever wants some information about what's happening in our human services programs. The Instagram page is a great spot to find that information. So we would encourage you to do that as well. So I think that's all I have for housekeeping. I am going to share my screen, and hopefully this all works and you can see a presentation that we've put together for you, and we're going to go through some of our programs. Alrighty. Hopefully you can see my page. Nina or Jackie, can you give me a yes or a no? Because I can't see you.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, so in our Human Services Department, we have several programs that we offer here on campus. Our Child and Youth Care Diploma, our Early Learning and Child Care Certificate and Diploma, and our Educational Assistant Certificate. And I'm going to pause for 1 second. Just bear with me one moment.
I'll go ahead and just talk a bit about the Educational Assistant Program. So the program head for the Educational Assistant Program here at Lakeland College, it's a one-year certificate. So typically we learn about strategies when helping individuals within the school setting. Anyone who may be struggling with any type of learning disabilities, we'll be learning about some strategies as well to help that individual. We offer two exceptionality courses, which is actually pretty exciting because it sets us different from other institutions where they only have one exceptionality course. And I'll let Jackie kind of talk more about that. And then you also get the opportunity within your second week of here being on campus to go out to local schools and start volunteering. And Stephanie will be able to talk a little more about her experiences within the school and about the practicum. So within our one-year certificate, you have 2 4-week practicums. So we have a 4-week practicum in the first term and then a 4-week practicum in the second term. We like the students to do the research behind where would they like to go. We really encourage students to choose location-wise where they want to be, and basically to meet your needs at the same time. And we like to do that. We have the smaller classrooms and the class sizes where it kind of allows more of the one-to-one interaction between the instructors and the students. Maybe now would be a good time to have Stephanie, if you could talk about your experience at Lakeland College in the EA program.
Hi, yeah, I'm Stephanie. I took the EA program in, oh my goodness, 2019, so I graduated a little bit ago. I'm currently taking my second year of child and youth care online, so I can speak about that if you like after. But yeah, the educational assistant program was a great gateway into kind of like the school setting and what I want to do with my career. So like Nina said, it's a one-year program, so it was really easy to get in, get the experience. Like she said, like as soon as like we got into class, we were able to go into the school settings, which was amazing. I love the hands-on learning because I just can't sit behind a computer all day or even in a classroom and get taught all these different materials. It's nice to actually learn the material and then get to do it hands-on learning and get to like see how it relates to class, which is amazing. I absolutely love the experience. With Practicum, I was able to do a paid Practicum because I was working for an agency in Vermilion. So it was nice to actually get the experience and yet get paid to do it because it was my job. The class sizes are amazing. I love the one-to-one learning with Nina. I'm the one that needs, like I have some learning disabilities myself, so it's nice to have that connection with a teacher because it's nice to know if I have a problem, she's going to know exactly how to help me and how we can come up with a strategy to deal with it. One of my highlights in that class was able to build, oh my gosh, I think we made a math Scrabble. I did that with Becky. It was so much fun. We got to make this Scrabble board, and it was like multiplication, addition, subtraction, and we were able to take that into one of the elementary schools in Vermilion and play with them and kind of build a connection already with these students. It was just a phenomenal experience to do something in class and yet bring it into the classroom at a school to learn about it. That's all I guess I have to say about it, but I definitely recommend the educational assistant program if you just want to do 1 year instead of a 2-year program, because at least if you have your certificate, then you can still kind of jump into a job. And I was able to find substitute educational assistant jobs for myself.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you, Nina, for stepping in for me while I had some technical difficulties. I appreciate it. And yes, thank you, Stephanie. That was a great overview of the educational assistant program. I'm going to slip back a few slides and ask, I know we have Jackie Ganton is here with us. Jackie is a new instructor with us this year and teaching primarily in the child and youth care program. And I believe we have some students as well, current students and probably, I think, an alumni of our CYC program, or a current student. Cheyenne is with us with CYC and can talk about some of, Cheyenne has great experience because she was a face-to-face student and an online student. So Jackie, if you want to introduce yourself and say hello, and then we can hand it over to the students to give some of their thoughts on the CYC program.
Absolutely. It's great to be here today. It's great to be with Lakeland. I'm super excited about all the opportunities we have here. I echo very much what Nina said, in that a lot of the hands-on learning, the small class sizes allows us as instructors to really connect with students and provide an experience that goes beyond just, you know, learning something out of a textbook. You can really get into application, case studies, things like that, which is really phenomenal when you're talking about human services programs where we're working with humans and we have to be able to apply what we know. That's such a huge piece of the work in the profession. So yes, today we have with us Kara. Kara, are you ready to go and share with us your experience? Kara is a second-year student in CYC. She's been face-to-face, well, as much as face-to-face as we could do in the last year and a bit. So Kara, do you want to share with us some of your experience?
Sure. It is actually my third year at Lakeland because I started off in the Early Learning and Childcare Certificate program, which we'll hear about later. But it's my second year in CYC, and I decided to switch to CYC because I wanted to be able to help a wider variety of ages of children and youth. And I really enjoy this program. Like Jackie said, we get to do a whole bunch of case studies, which is awesome because then we get to practice what we're going to be doing in the field one day. And I really enjoy the small class sizes. I think one of my classes, I have 6 people and the other one is like 12. So it's really nice to be able to connect with your fellow students and your instructors so that you really get a good grasp of what you're learning, and then you're able to take it with you on your practicums.
Awesome. Thank you, Kara. And Cheyenne is in the online program now, also an alumni of the ELCC program, right, Cheyenne? Do you want to talk to us a little bit about your experience?
Hi. Yes. Thank you. So I'm in my 4th year now. I attended Lakeland for 2 years and did my early learning in childcare. And then when COVID hit, I was like, I want to keep learning. Transferred over to child and youth care online. So it's been a little bit different being in person. However, like my main worry was not having the supports transferring over to online. You hear that about it a lot. You don't have a physical teacher. You don't have like physical classes to attend. However, I found that the teachers try to make it as engaging as possible by having discussion posts every week. I actually met a friend from the discussion posts, and she lives only half an hour from me. So we actually will get together and do studying and homework. So even through online, you can still make friends through college, which is really cool. It's at your own pace, which I really love. And then also it gives me the opportunity to work. So I recently snagged a job in child and youth care, and I've been able to work in the field and do my studies at the same time, which has been really beneficial for me living on my own and all the kind of aspects. And then I also, one last thing I love about online is like your teacher is there 24/7. Like I think I've emailed my teachers at like 8 p.m. and shockingly enough, I get a response sometimes. So it just shows that they care about your success and that they're willing to shoot you an answer at any time of the day if you have a question, to reach out for help, which is really important because sometimes you struggle, but that's what the teachers are there for. And that's how you learn, right? So online, I highly recommend it if you can't attend in person, especially if you're worried about COVID or if it's just too far of a school for you. Still go online. You still get the same amount of knowledge. You get the same experience that you would in person. So yeah. that's that.
Thanks so much, ladies. I really appreciate that feedback. I guess one of the things that you're hearing about our programs and through Kara and through Cheyenne is there is the ability to transition. Many of our human services students, they may start a program and realize within the first semester or first year that that might not be the program that is the best choice for them. We share common curriculum in many of our human services programs. So you could take a semester in early learning and childcare and quickly realize, you know what, I think I would rather work with an older age youth families as opposed to a daycare setting. We can pretty easily transition you into another program without the need to redo all of the courses again. You don't lose your first semester, or you wouldn't lose your first year of study. There may be a couple of courses that you would have missed, but for the most part, you're on track to complete that program as well. Or you may decide to complete a full program and graduate, and then do another certificate or diploma, as Cheyenne has mentioned. And again, many of the courses that you've completed, you would have completed in that first certificate or diploma. So it's quite common for students to do double certificates or diplomas, or to transition into other programs, and we can do that pretty seamlessly here at Lakeland. Really happy to hear Cheyenne's comments about her online experience. I think something that's been important to us with online programming is ensuring that students who do choose to study online have a very similar experience that our face-to-face students would have. Obviously, it's not the same, but we want them to have interaction with their classmates. We want them to interact with their instructor. So yeah, thank you for those comments. As the dean of the department, I'm really happy to know that that's been your experience, and I hope all of our online students feel the same way. Alrighty, we're going to now talk about our early learning and childcare certificate and diploma programs, and I believe we have some students online as well. Destiny and Sierra are here with us today. And Cheyenne, you have some experience with early learning and childcare as well. So if Destiny and Sierra, if you're there, if you'd like to chime in and give our guests some information on these programs, that would be great.
Yes. Hi. We're in the early learning childcare program second year. And yeah.
So I actually originally was planning to go to U of A for post-secondary in elementary education, but I was very scared of a large campus and large classes because I come from a very small community. And I'd actually been competing at Lakeland College in the skills competitions that they host here. And I fell in love with the campus, and my teacher looked into it and found out they had a human services department and was very aggressive about me applying. And I'm very glad she did that because actually really like the small class sizes are very helpful. Like we have 9 in our full program, and then in one class we have 6 people.
The teachers are very accommodating, and they're so helpful when you need it. You get on a personal level with each teacher.
And when looking for practicum sites, they're also very accommodating to what you actually want to do once you're done here. And actually for our first practicum for second year, we're doing a play program at the college campus. So we're in charge of designing and running the program for 4 weeks.
And we have children from the community that will come in to our play program, and we'll basically run our own daycare since we have our certificate from first year. And it just gives us an opportunity to do it on our own and be independent learners.
And one of the main highlights I think of the program is there's actually a daycare on campus, and a lot of our classes are project based. So we have to like come up with activities to do with children, and we actually get to do them on campus with children of the age we're going to be working with. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, ladies, so much. Cheyenne, did you want to add anything about your experience in early learning and childcare?
Yeah, I'll just add a little bit here. So early learning and childcare were like the best 2 years of my life. I attended Lakeland on campus. I'm from Edmonton, not too far. I stayed in dorms. It was wonderful. And I loved early learning and childcare mainly because, yeah, like as the other girls said and that they've realized over the years, it's super hands-on. There's that daycare right there. You decorate the daycare for them, which like is so much fun. You get to create art activities to do with them. Like pretty much you just go and have fun with these kids, which is just how is that not fun? That's like school for you. You go work with kids. Love it. Can't complain. The play program, I don't know if Kelly's still in here, but she's gonna laugh. I was so scared to do the play program. However, I actually did it 2 years ago now. And the play program is one of the best opportunities I think that Lakeland provides early learning and childcare students with, because it's kind of scary sometimes being in charge of 10 little humans and not knowing what to do for your first time. And especially with if you complete your 2 years, you could open and run your own day home if you wanted to. That's kind of the schooling that we provide you with. So this play program helps you understand how to open a daycare, how to run it, or a day home, and you work with your team. So our team, we became really close as friends, as classmates. We all had to work together because for 4 weeks you're stuck with them and you're a team working, and you have parents that you have to communicate with. Like the teachers are there, yes, but they stand on the sidelines while you're running things. You're cooking all the cute little snacks for the kiddos. You're creating all the activities. And then plus all the little babies from town get to come and hang out with you for a day. So the play program is really, really informational based, hands-on learning. And it really sets you up for success in your career, I find. And then early learning, childcare in general, it's just a super fun course. The teachers are so like one of our classes one year was like, make a superhero that looks like you out of all these crafts. And then that was just our class that day. So I really encourage you to take early learning and childcare if you want to, because it is fun.
Thanks, Cheyenne. Great comments. I think the play program is definitely unique to Lakeland College. We've been offering it in the community for over 30 years. It's part of the Lakeland College experience is student managed learning, and we want to, in a safe manner, give students the opportunity to feel what it's like to run your own childcare center and do it in the safety and security of your college experience, with instructors who can guide you, with classmates who you can lean on. And we're pretty proud of what that experience gives to our students. I know when students go out in other practicums and in workplaces, our advisory committee members tell us what an advantage it is for students to have that experience before they graduate. So thanks for sharing your experience, Cheyenne. Really appreciate it. And thank you to Sierra and Destiny as well. Okay, moving right along. We've talked about EA and American Sign Language and Deaf Culture Studies. I'm going to speak to you a little bit about this program. It's offered at the Alberta School for the Deaf in Edmonton. Actually, this year it's offered 100% online due to COVID restrictions and where we were in the spring for planning purposes. Sign language is a language that very much relies on facial expressions. And at the time we were making decisions about programming and what it might look like this year, we thought we might still have a mask mandate, which we do. And wearing masks and understanding and learning sign language would be very, very difficult. So it's unfortunate that the program is being offered online this year, but we've offered the program in an online capacity for many, many years, and we have great experience in how to do that. So it's running smoothly. The benefit, I guess, of it running at the Alberta School for the Deaf in Edmonton is you're immersed in the culture of sign language. You understand deaf culture because every day you're coming to school in that environment. So the sign language program takes you through 3 levels of sign language. You'll do ASL 101, 102, then go on to 201, 202, 301, 302. So you get all of the levels of sign language. So when you graduate, you're fluent in American Sign Language. Many students then hope to go on to become an interpreter and can look at interpreter programs across Canada. We did have an interpreter program in the past. We have suspended that program for next year, and we'll look at whether or not we'll be offering an interpreter program in 2023. There are some programs in Vancouver and Manitoba. That would be the closest programs to us. And I think there's programs in Ontario and Nova Scotia as well. We have continuing education opportunities for students who just are interested in learning a little bit about the language. I know for EA students or early learning and childcare or CYC students, it's great to have a second language on your resume, and having ASL 101 as a tool in your toolbox, that would be definitely advantageous for students to take that course. It's offered as an optional course in these programs here at Lakeland, so we do give students that opportunity to take it within their program. Many students have. I'm not sure if anyone here on the call today has experience with ASL 101. If you do, please chime in. But yeah, I think that's a good overview of the American Sign Language and Deaf Culture Studies program. Alrighty, next up is our Animal Assisted Wellness Certificate, and I know Kelly Mazerol is on the call with us today, who's our academic advisor for online programs. Kelly, do you want to give everyone a little overview on this program?
Good morning, happy Friday, everyone. So yes, once you've finished your studies with us in child and youth care or educational assistant or early learning and childcare, you can choose to specialize in animal assisted wellness. So we are the only college in Canada that offers a course in animal assisted integration that Jackie teaches. So in your child and youth care, educational assistant, early learning and childcare, it's an elective. It's something that you're interested in, partnering with animals in order to help people. Then you can take the introductory course with Jackie and then continue on once you've graduated into our online certificate. So it gives you an opportunity to specialize a little bit when you're done your general schooling. We have a student online who partners with animals. She's a child and youth care counselor and she has goats. So she uses goats to help her clients self-regulate their emotions, to calm down, to focus on how their behavior is affecting the animal. We have an early learning and childcare student who is in our animal assisted wellness certificate, and she takes her dog in, so the children in the out of school care program can read to the dog and practice reading, because the dog's not going to laugh if they stutter or if they mispronounce a word, right? They provide them with a safe environment. So it is offered part-time because most of our students that are online are working in the field. So it'll take you about 2 years to take the courses, and we're very fortunate to partner with Dreamcatcher out of Drawson, a nature-assisted wellness program. So you go there then for your practicum to be able to integrate everything that you've learned in your courses at the end of your program. We're at Dreamcatchers for that. By the way, if you have any questions, we have room in the chat, so please put some questions in there if you're thinking of something while we're going through our programming.
Thanks, Kel. And next up, you're moving right along to community mental health.
So it has been a huge topic, right? A huge focus of the mental health of our society. So we also allow you the opportunity once you've graduated from child and youth care, educational assistant, early learning and childcare to specialize in mental health. So what's great about it is that we start with infant, toddler, the little ones and their mental health and bring it across the lifespan. Lots of jobs in human services fields for sure. So if you get a job in the field, in the daycare, or as a child and youth care counselor, or an educational assistant in the school, and you feel that you would want to specialize a little bit and get a little bit more knowledge under your belt, and mental health is something that you're passionate about, the course is also offered part-time, so it'll take you about 2 years to graduate with your certificate, and the practicum is at the end as well.
Awesome, thanks, Kel. Alrighty. Next up is our Human Services Club project. So we've been very fortunate this year to establish a an official human services club here at Lakeland College. It's not all about classroom activities and studying and coursework. We want you to have some fun. But this Human Services Club project that we've been working on this year is very much related to what you are learning in the classroom. I think we have some students who are involved in the club. If they'd like to chime in and give a little overview of what the Natural Playscape project is all about.
Hi. So we're in the Human Services Club making the Natural Playscape, and it's
So it's in an area behind the Bentley building. I don't know how many people have seen the campus yet, but there's this open area near the playground that the children at the daycare use, and it was just very open and empty. So a few of our instructors in human services and also in interior design actually got together and made a plan for this natural playscape for the community and also the children in the daycare, and for us to possibly use in play programs in the future. So what a natural playscape is instead of using like plastic slides and swing sets, we actually build an environment out of like logs and wood and old doors and stuff like that for the children to use.
So we have the sand moved in there already, and we have logs around it so that the children can practice like balancing and like stepping and everything. And we're having a sound wall out there as well, which is very exciting. And then we're doing a mud kitchen that we will be building, and it's very exciting.
It is very exciting. I know my office, I have a window that overlooks where this is being constructed. And when I see students out there hard at work with smiles on their faces and I can see what's happening, it's awesome. We do have a little video clip to share with you so you can see kind of how this is coming along. So definitely more to come. We're excited to work on this throughout the year, and yeah, as this progresses, we'll be updating pictures on our website and you'll get to see the finished product at some point in time. And thank you to all of the students who are involved. It's awesome. And our last slide of this presentation talks about the future possibility of an international practicum. In Hawaii, we've been very fortunate to have participated in international practicum opportunities for several years at Lakeland in Human Services. Usually in the second year of a student's program, if you're in a diploma program, one of your practicums, if we have enough student interest, we will look to arrange some opportunities in an international location. We've gone to Hawaii for the last several years for a few reasons. It's Hawaii for the first reason. Secondly, we've got great relationships with agencies, childcare centers and schools in Hawaii. They speak English, so language barrier isn't an issue. It's within North America. All of those reasons, it makes it a good fit for an international practicum. I know we have some students on this call today who were destined to go to Hawaii in 2020 when our pandemic hit, and unfortunately that international practicum didn't happen at that point in time. So I don't want to throw salt on the wound because I know they were so looking forward to going, as were we at Lakeland, but we're very hopeful that that will happen again. Nina Barrett and Kelly Mazerol, who are on the call, have experienced an international practicum in Hawaii. So if those ladies would like to share a little bit about the experience and what that experience meant for students, that would be awesome.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So my first experience was going out to Hawaii with the International Practicum. It was a wonderful experience. What the students were able to do was incorporate a lot of the theory and strategies that they learned here at Lakeland College and go to a completely new setting and use it within the daycares that they were at, the schools, and they also worked with at-risk youths and the homeless population within Hawaii. So we often kind of think of Hawaii as this tropical getaway that we all would love to go, and there was a lot of things for our students that they got to learn about Hawaii and that the high rate of the homeless population there is at the same time. So, you know, even just taking a bus, Kelly and I were remembering our students just taking a bus for the first time in the inner city bus, that, you know, a lot of students, it was new to them. And so they just got to learn a lot more as well about the cultural differences as well, and got to learn quite a bit about the Polynesian culture in Hawaii. You know, for example, in Hawaii, they often call the educators, they refer to them in the early learning education, they refer to them as aunties to begin with, and it shows that kind of like family connection, that everyone is part of a family. So that was kind of new to them. Kelly?
I agree, Nina. It was a great experience. Like you said, we got to work with a Head Start program. So it was a free program offered to children in Hawaii to get them ready for school, so that they were maybe falling behind. And so they all have a chance to attend preschool for free. So yes, they were so welcoming and took us right into their programs and invited our students to come to their homes for supper. So they went to see the aunties where they lived, and they took them on tours of the island, and yeah, we were very, very welcomed. We stayed in condominiums that were just steps away from the ocean, so we did some fun stuff in there too. We went to a luau, and it reduced the cost a little bit because we were able then to cook our own food for breakfast, lunch, and supper to go grocery shopping, because we were there for 2.5 weeks. And so, yes, it was a great experience. We do the same thing in all of our practicums. We ask students where they would like to go and what kind of experience they would like to have. I know a lot of colleges and universities have just a list of places, and they just put students according to how many spaces they have available, but Lakeland is very different. I'm the practicum coordinator, so I work with your program heads and you to make sure that we give you an experience that's going to help you build your personalized resume, so that it'll open doors for you in the future. And like I say, a lot of our students then, when they go out on practicum, are doing such a wonderful job that they asked to stay. So we said, no, we need them back for just one more semester so they can graduate from their program. So oftentimes it is a great fit, and because you've had a chance to go there and volunteer for 4 weeks, then you can get hired into the practicum placement, which is a huge opportunity. So working practicums are definitely an advantage that we offer at Lakeland.
Thanks, Kelly. And I will say, international practicum is optional. It's not something that students would have to do. Practicums are not optional. They are certainly a course within your program that you would be required to complete to graduate. If you are taking a diploma program, having the option of completing 4 different practicums is certainly advantageous. And I will say that many students come in with a thought on what type of practicum placement they would like to receive. And as Kelly said, we work with students and we try to place you in that school or daycare or agency that you would prefer. We also would say be open-minded, and many times students think that this is what they want to do and where they want to work, and until they take a risk and maybe go outside their comfort zone a little bit and take on a practicum placement in a spot where they didn't think would be a fit for them, they quickly realize that, wow, I'm glad I had the opportunity to experience that, because I've kind of changed my thoughts on where it is I would want to work. What we also do here at Lakeland is bring first-year students and second-year students together in the first semester, so our second-year students can talk to first-year students about practicum placements and what it was like for them, and give them some insight on what to expect, and probably some of the stories that I just shared with you and what that Kelly shared with you. We really want students to hear from other students about their experience, because it's often nice to hear it from your classmate than your instructor. So yeah, we try as best we can to build that sense of community here in our Human Services Department. That is the end of our presentation. And our last slide is questions. If there are questions, we would love to hear them. Please enter them into the chat. We can tag team who the most appropriate person would be to answer that question, or if you want to turn your microphone on and certainly ask, we'd love to hear from you.
Okay, so I would like to become an equine therapist or go into like hippotherapy. So what courses would I have to take to achieve that?
I'm looking at Jackie. She doesn't know I'm looking at her, but I'm thinking she may be able to give some insight into that.
I can speak a little bit to that. So equine therapy specifically requires, first of all, that you are a registered therapist. So you would have to go through the counseling, the whole educational kind of counseling process to become a registered therapist if you actually are going to be an equine therapist. And so now I know that like the certificate program that we offer certainly is would be like an addendum to something like that, to specialize in using equine or using animal assisted interventions as an add-on to your therapy practice. But I know that we do have a lot of graduates who take a diploma program in something like child and youth care and then take the animal assisted wellness certificate and then go on to do things like animal assisted interventions, activities, education. So it wouldn't be direct therapy work. You wouldn't be registered under the College of Psychoanalysts. You wouldn't be a registered therapist per se, but you can definitely do animal assisted intervention type work, which is basically, I would equate it kind of to coaching or counseling type work where you're working with maybe a group or using an animal in a setting where, maybe you bring an animal into an educational setting or bring an animal into a healthcare facility or a youth facility or something like that, to add to kind of the depth and the breadth of what you can do with your work there. Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Because I got accepted into the equine sciences program for the coming up year.
So the thing about being called that is the one piece of animal assisted work in general, is that if you are going to go under that therapy banner, you do have to be a therapist, a registered therapist, which is that's an entire career stream kind of on its own. But outside of that therapy category, there's a lot of animal assisted activities, interventions, education, things that you can do. That's kind of the only regulated piece of the industry is the therapy sector. If you're going to call yourself an equine assisted therapist, that's the only area where you have to be registered as a therapist first. The rest of the professional field of animal assisted activities, interventions, does not largely require any sort of regulatory kind of credential.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks for your question. Thanks, Jackie. I see that Kelly has posted in the chat something that we didn't indicate in our presentation is the fact that our early learning and childcare and child and youth care programs are also made available to students online in French. So if you do speak French, you could certainly take your entire program in the French language. We do have some students who've gone through immersion programs in high school, and the fact that we have these courses available, if you were to study online with us, you could take a mix of both courses in English and in French. Often, if you graduate from an immersion program, your options are studying completely in English or completely in French. This does give you the option of both languages. So do a couple courses in English and a few in French, and you can continue in a immersion type program. I know Suzanne has also posted in the chat about applying for free. So today and tomorrow, during our open house days, it is your opportunity to apply for a Lakeland College program and not incur the $90 application fee. So if you're thinking about a program, even if you're just thinking about it, you haven't confirm that this is what you want, I would certainly encourage you to put an application in. You're not committed to anything at this point in time, but that gives us the opportunity then to reach out to you and provide you with some more information over the next few months, because we'd certainly love to have you here with us in September. Any other questions? Alrighty. And I know Suzanne has put the entry draw up in the chat as well. Please don't forget to do that. We want to make sure you have an opportunity to win one of those fabulous prizes. We really appreciate you coming today. Big thanks to our students who participated and all of the information you shared with potential incoming students who have an interest. Very grateful to you, grateful to our faculty who's joined us as well, and to Suzanne who's behind the scenes adding things as we go. Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work. Appreciate it. If there's no questions, enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Janice. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.